Baby, no. Genesis starts out like an action-packed movie. Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Abraham, Isaac and Jacob and Joseph and the tribes of Israel. Like, I love all of that history. I want to read the Bible to check me, to correct me, to change me, and transform me. So the Bible through the lens of as a Black woman. I also read the Bible as through the lens of a wife, a daughter, a sister. I read the Bible through all these lenses that then allows me to resonate and be interested in some types more than others. What is going on to all of us riders out there? It's your girl, V here, and I'm back with another video. And my, was it a challenge to create this video today? Not even today. I have been wanting to create this video since last week, but something kept coming in the way that hindered me from recording, or it's made me tired to record, or just made me just push it off to the next day for whatever reason. And today, I said, no, I am recording this video today because I need to share my journey. I need to share my Bible reading journey because at the top of this year, I was on fire for God. And I still am on fire for God, but sometimes I'm hotter most days. I'm hotter on some days than others, right? At the beginning of the year, I was like blazing, fiery furnace, hot for God. And I decided to do the Bible. From beginning to end. To God created heaven and earth, all the way to, shoot, what is the last verse of the Bible? Honestly, may the grace of the Lord Jesus be with God's holy people. Revelation 22:21. Anyways, I switched up the location because I realized I'm gonna do a lot of chit-chat videos. I have a lot of chit-chat videos I wanna begin having on this channel, especially now that Auntie and I are traveling, so we'll be sitting put for a little bit. And today I am sharing with you all my Bible reading journey from beginning to end. You know, I'm not at the end yet, so I'm kind of just giving you like a midpoint check-in. And I'm not in my prayer closet today. I think since these chit-chats would be like a vibe or a new thing, I want to create like a nice little vibe, a nice little aesthetic, you know? So I'm here in our living room. The nudes are nice here. The decor is nice here. You really see this, you just see a little bit sticking out over here. And I want green to make it like match like earth tones. Let's see how it's giving, because when I was in my prayer closet, it was just giving white wall. And I was like, I need a little more. Are you guys liking how this channel is going? I try to diversify this channel a lot, but should I keep it to a minimum, or is the diversity great? Like, I have like couple content, a chit-chat content, a whole holistic content, and about book club content. Took a pause on that. So let me know if you guys like these chit-chats down below. Comment down below, let me know. And I'll continue to bring it to you guys. Because I have a lot in store, so it's like, y'all just don't like it. It's just like, somebody gotta like it out there. And if that one person likes it, then all it takes for me to carry on. I wanted to share my top 3 Bible reading struggles and my top 3 Bible reading benefits, and then I wanted to share my top 5 verses that encourage me to continue reading when I am experiencing a challenge. Okay? First challenge I found in reading the Bible from beginning to end is the time constraints and prioritizing, aka putting God on hold, right? Oftentimes I would let life and how I feel about life supersede my time with God. Like if I had a training day at work, I'd be like, oh no, I can't touch the Bible. Or if I just had a conversation with someone that's like sitting with me heavy and running the conversation in my head over and over and over. Oh no, mine is too occupied right now, can't talk to God. The weakest excuse I would give one time for putting God on hold was we have upstairs and downstairs. And upstairs is my prayer closet. And I remember one time I was working downstairs and I never went upstairs that day. And because I never went upstairs that day, I never opened my Bible, but my Bible was upstairs. But I have my app and I read verses in my app like during the day, but I'm doing book by book, chapter by chapter, verse by verse. So currently I'm on the Ecclesiastes 9. So naturally tomorrow I'll be past 10, and then the day after 11. So, and I like reading in the pages. You know, like I obviously can read on my phone, but I like touching. I like touching the pages of my Bible. I love highlighting. You can see, like, your girl loves to highlight, and I love to make notes along the way. So I like reading my Bible. So one of the weakest excuses I've had for putting God on hold is that I don't like going upstairs. And I know that's horrible. Oftentimes when I feel that way, I let life win and I don't touch the Bible. And right now my husband upstairs talking to her on the phone on his voice. But this video will go on. So if you hear my hubby upstairs talking, that's just hubby. Have laundry running, that's laundry. I think you get a little mic. It's like, we're getting there, but there's a lot of distractions going on right now. And the second thing is difficulty understanding the text. And this is 100% true. But it depends on how the day before went. So like, for example, when I was reading Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, I was on fire. I was on fire for God during that time, but also the Bible was on fire. Like, those are probably like one of my top 3 chapters in the Bible of the Old Testament, because I just loved that history. I love the history of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Joseph, and the tribes of Israel. Like, I love all of that history. It just allowed us to see a whole new world of a time where we were not present in this world, and how people were found God, worshiped God, and how they did it. And the leaders at the time that created a community of people to follow God. It's absolutely beautiful, and I was just falling in love with the different characters. Because like when I first read a book, sometimes it takes a while for it to build up. But baby, no. Genesis starts out like an action-packed movie. Like, do y'all remember that TikTok was just like, like Shakespeare, like, so who does he think she is? Viva leaders, after you die. Like, it really gave all of that. It has all of the genres and themes of a movie that one would want to really enjoy a film. And that's Genesis. Like, don't play with Genesis. But then you trickle into pieces of the Bible that could be a little dull, for me at least. Others may say differently. That was when they were describing the different parts of the Ark of the Covenant, and then they were going into detail of like the wood size and length, and then the colors, and then this, and then that. And honestly, I wasn't really too thrilled to read those chapters. So honestly, I had an audio playing and I was just guiding along, right? But then when I went back to some like dialogue and history, I put the audio off and I read to myself so I can really read at my own pace. But there's different chapters in the Bible, different books in the Bible that just wasn't as interesting or gravitating to read more on, which affected my day too, which left me like wanting to read the next day. Right? I'm just like, I really don't want to read about this, but me from beginning to end, so I can't skip over it, so I gotta read it. But what will help is doing the audio, right? We understand that the Bible is going to be full of complex context, right? From the history, from the culture, from just the language itself can often be that. But if you find your version of the Bible, like for me, I love the new NLT. That's the New Living Translation. And that helps with the language. The culture and the history can be a bit hindering because it's not relatable. It's speaking of something so foreign that's just like, wait, what? You know, like I was just saying with the liquid offering and how they would, the process in doing that, like now we can just pray to God and just say, Lord, please forgive me for my sins, help me turn from my wicked ways, cleanse me from all iniquity. But before, they were doing a whole lot to get their sins. Not a whole lot, forgive me, because God did a lot. I mean, Jesus Christ did a lot. What we had to do is barely, to get our sins forgiven, right? But one may not be too understanding of that process because it's nothing they lived or so forth. But I loved it. I feel like as an attorney, I'm reading the Bible through a legal lens, but also through the lens in which I live my life. I'm a Black woman as well. So I read the Bible through the lens as a Black woman. I also read the Bible through the lens of a wife, through the lens of a daughter, a sister, you know. So I read the Bible through all these lenses that then allows me to resonate and be interested in some texts more than others. Like you may find a verse that's like super powerful and you let that be the favorite verse you've ever read. And I'm like, that's probably like my least favorite verse I've read. But it doesn't even matter because that's what's so beautiful about the Bible. That's why the Bible is this dense book that it is, because there's a bit of everything for everybody. So I had to realize, don't let the difficult text or the text that don't resonate with me slow me down, because there's going to be something in there for me that's going to be life-changing, transformative, and it's waiting for me. So I need to keep reading and keep pushing on, keep pressing on until I get there. The third thing is lack of discipline and motivation, aka I'm moving away from God now. Something else has my attention. And boy, was this me for a good 2 months. I'm not even gonna lie, for 2 whole months, I did not read the Bible. July and August. July, I went to Italy. That whole month, I didn't read the Bible. I read verses on my phone, you know, like the verse of the day. And if I wanted to read more about the verse of the day, I'll read like a chapter before and after, get some context of that verse. But I wasn't reading it in the order in which I would read it to finish the whole Bible, you know, if I finished chapter 9, 10, 11, 12, and so forth. And also, I didn't carry my Bible either. I should have had a travel Bible, but I didn't. You see, that's my lack of motivation, because I was really motivated to read the Bible. I would have had a small, compact travel Bible. I didn't want to carry this Bible because, one, this Bible is my baby. I absolutely love it. It's like in the best condition. Because I had a couple Bibles like that in the past that look rough. I am ashamed to even say, but I'll be honest with you guys, that they look rough not because of me reading it. They look rough because I wouldn't take good care of it. I would just travel with it, say I would read it, and I wouldn't. And then through the travel, through the movement of it all, of it being moved from here to here to here, it just got tarnished and damaged. Pages started ripping, falling apart. So that's why I didn't carry this one, because it's like, I don't want this one to get damaged. Yeah, I was distracted during the vacation in Italy. Not that my mind wasn't on God, but I just wasn't prioritizing reading the Bible. And like, I was semi-hot July while I was traveling through Italy. And even when I got back, because when I got back from Italy, I was exhausted, one. And two, now that it's out of my habit to read the Bible every day, I didn't I wasn't gravitating to my prayer closet to read every day. So I would just let the days go by, like, wow, I didn't read the Bible today. Another day goes by. Yeah, I didn't read the Bible today. Another day goes by. Yeah, a whole week would go by, and I'm like, wow, I did not read the Bible all week. And next thing you know, I didn't read the Bible all month. And it got to that point. I'll be honest, like sometimes I do struggle with God about certain things I may have like prayed about, or certain things I'm worried about. I let that affect my relationship with God. Not that I don't love Him anymore, I don't worship Him or praise Him or respect Him. It's just kind of like I'm going through a moment where it's just, yeah, I had to reset the 30-minute mark. My camera was recording. I was saying how the phase I couldn't go through at the time was me kind of like having a moment with God where I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if God wants this for me, something I'm praying about. And I don't know what to do moving forward if He doesn't want it for me. Right? And in that space of like, all right, if God doesn't want this for me, then what does He want? What should I do? And I'm kind of like in my head about my next move in life. Like I just needed some direction. And to be quite frank with you, I'm still in that phase of uncertainty. But now, instead of kind of like being in my head and letting it fester and fester and fester, I'm like, let me leave it to God and pray, pray, pray. Because that was the best way to deal with it. So it wouldn't drive me crazy. Because it's like that sometimes, where it's just like you're in that in-between stage where it's just like God's working, right? It's like God's gonna like work this out for my good, right? And it's just like, yes, He is, but some days He just kind of like, is He working? It's been quite a challenge. So that I would say is like one of the most important reasons why, one of the main reasons why I stopped reading is like my mental space with God. You know, outside of me allowing life to get busy and I'm distracted and I'm procrastinated and I put in the back burner, that's different from going through something so much so that I can't even focus on God. But then I had to channel that and say, like, I'm gonna leave everything on God's feet and God's feet so that I can be burden free. Because God says, take my yoke, it is easy, and give me yours. And so I have given my yoke over to God, and I have taken His, which is light. And I'd rather carry His than mine, because carrying mine would just break me down and drive me crazy. But for Him, He knows exactly what to do. That wraps up the three challenges rather, I experienced reading the Bible. It's spiritual growth and guidance. And when I tell you, I definitely grew in many areas in my life reading the Bible. And you don't even see it day to day. You see it moment to moment. Like you have to be in a moment where you know you would have acted differently, but God. If it wasn't for you reading the Bible and being close to God, that like, oh wow, I'm surprised I responded like that. Like, kudos to me. And it's like, not even kudos to me, it's kudos to God for transforming you and allowing you to be better than who you were, you know? And I think that's what the Bible's all about. Like, allow the Bible to transform you. You're living our life with God. And when we live our life with God, that's gonna be counterculture. It's gonna be tough. It's a narrow life to live. Like, the road is narrow. So it's not going to be easy. So if I'm reading the Bible just to be like, oh, okay, I can keep doing that. It's like, no, I want to read the Bible to check me, to correct me, to change me, and transform me. So to give you an example without being too personal, like, for example, if me and my husband are discussing something, right, and normally I'll be triggered, or normally I'll be easily irritated by it, I find myself really navigating those conversations smoother than how I used to. I will let my flesh win by being short-tempered, easily angered, and wanting to dismiss myself from the conversation. Whereas now reading the Bible, like, I found myself like in the middle of the conversation, praying to God, like, Lord, give me the wisdom and guidance to navigate this conversation. Allow me not to succumb to my fleshly desires. To get up and walk away from this man, because he's ticking me off. No, but like, it allows me to stay and be like, no, he's ticking me off. I tick him off also. So it's just kind of like, navigate this the way you would want him to navigate when you tick him off. The same goes to my mother. So like, anybody knows my mother and I are best friends. We talk like 10 times a day. We on FaceTime. I see her every day. We live in 2 different states. So FaceTime is like our best friend. And we're all on FaceTime. But there are days that I'm out to be a bit irritating because she's a mother. She almost wants to make sure you're doing this, baby. She's like, V, did you do this? V, did you do that? V, did you do this? And it's just like, I'm gonna get to it. Mom, yes I did. Oh, sometimes that's like the mothering in her that's natural and is full of love and like good attention can just be overbearing. She's probably lunch right now, so love you, Mom. But it's real though. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to hear how she will smother, and I will give her attitude like, I'll call her later. In the middle of a sentence, I'll just cut her off. And I know that was not nice. She's just full of love and want to make sure that I'm good, and healthy, and doing the right thing. And now I find myself like being more patient and allowing her to talk and allowing her to get everything out and letting her know that like, Mom, I'm doing the best I can. Okay, you don't gotta keep checking up on me in this area. This area is good, okay? Like, we good, let's move on. I found like myself having better conversational skills with people I love, because we all know that we treat sometimes people we love the most, the worst, and I don't want to live my life that way. Like, I want you to know I love you with my actions too, with my words. All right. Another one is the renewing of the mind. Now I would say it's like one of the first times in my life that I'm sitting down and actually seeking on my own time, seeking understanding and guidance from God from the Bible. And I'm seeing all along my life choices I made have been biblically based. How I chose to date, like I always made sure the person I was dating had a relationship with God. If you didn't have a relationship with God, there was no conversation to have. And then with my career choices, I always made sure it was a career choice that was going to give me a life where I could be financially stable and prosperous, because that's what God wants for us. He wants us to live a prosperous life, but you have to make the right decisions to get there. Right? It's just like the parable of God, of the man who gave 3 individuals the same amount, and he left town, came back and asked them, what did you do with what I gave you? Somebody invested it, somebody did something else with it, and somebody buried it. And it's just like, I know that God put me on this earth for a reason, have a purpose, have a mission, and there's a reason why I'm here. So like, I am not gonna be one to just bury my gifts and my purpose that God left me here for. I'm gonna make the right decisions so that I can live the prosperous life that He has called me to do, so that I can do what He has called me to do along the way. And in my lifestyle choices too, like in what I chose to eat or not. Like, I never ate bottom feeders, pork, all the unclean animals that are listed in Leviticus, even though in the New Testament, Paul writes about it doesn't matter what you eat, doesn't matter what you drink, doesn't matter what day you worship. Like, all that matters is that you have faith in God and seek a relationship with Him. Even though that is true, I still would keep my dietary restrictions because that's what I personally feel convicted to do. And I feel like my body responds well to that due to health studies and health ministries that I've been to. They always speak on like the food you eat will affect your day-to-day life. And if you eat healthy foods, you have a healthy life. If you eat unhealthy foods, you have an unhealthy life. And it's not to say that God put unhealthy foods on this earth, but it's just like some things are not meant to be eaten. You don't have to eat a pig, right? We can just admire a pig for what it is and let it be part of the animal kingdom or just the cycle of life, you know? Whatever I feel personally convicted to do, I just follow that. And the third benefit of reading the Bible is strength for daily living. And boy, do I need that. Some days I wake up and I say, I'm gonna choose peace, I'm gonna choose happiness, I'm gonna choose joy. And then everything I get hit with that day is anti-happiness, anti-joy, anti-peace, right? But because I choose to equip myself with the verses of the Bible, I allow the Bible to really navigate how I respond to these things. Because when I'm hit with anti-peace, where I could respond back at that same level, I'm like, no, this is like not even my character. God didn't build me this way. I'm very non-confrontational. I hate conflict. So I will respond to de-escalate. I will respond to show love, to show that, yeah, I am not the one. If you want to fight, I'm gonna throw the towel in and I'm gonna let you know that this is not what's about to happen. Like, I let the Lord fight my battles and that's it. I'm not gonna get my hands dirty in this. God molded me this way because I see a lot of things in my past life, in the past where if I reacted differently, how life could have went much differently for me. And even like how I choose to like think about life and my lifestyle. Like, I remember there was a point in my life where I wanted to dress modestly because I knew it was the modest thing to do and I knew it was the Christian thing to do. But then once I got older and I thought like, oh, I'm Mr. Ohafe, like I'm about to dress how I want. And it wasn't even how I wanted. It was just how I saw the world was dressing, and I saw the world loved this type of style. So I would dress like that. But I remember oftentimes whenever I would dress how the world was dressing, I would leave out my home. But in my head, I would be like, God is watching me, He's not pleased. In my head, I would say that. But then at the same time, I would be like, but I'm cute though. So I would keep it pushing because I'm cute though. But also, God just didn't like me wearing what I was wearing, whether it was my belly out, whether my shorts were too short, whether my shirt was too tight, or if I had like a lot of jewelry on. And that's another conversation for another day, because I know like jewelry can be like, jewelry is not like a clear fine line on whether it's bad or good when it comes to modesty. Like clothing, you can tell whether you have a modest outfit or an unmodest outfit. You can tell that straight away. But with jewelry, it's like there's no real beef for jewelry. But for some reason, I just feel personally convicted that when I wear it, I feel worldly. And that's just my personal conviction. But somebody else could be on fire for God and wear jewelry And then that's their prerogative, and that's just their Christian journey. So when I would wear all those things, I would just be like, I am not a Christ representative. But at the same time, I'll be like, okay, tomorrow will be. So today, I'm gonna be of the world. But then tomorrow, I'll be a little more modest so that I can be of Christ, And I knew I wasn't living my life right back then, And when I say back then, that was like 3 years ago. I was like, it wasn't even too long ago. I think I had to stop living for me, right? So it wasn't about me trying to look cute. Like, I live my life with God. So it's like when the world sees me, are they seeing, oh, she look cute? Or are they seeing God in me? And I had to realize, no, when I would dress immodest and my belly's out and I have all these jewelries on and I have a tight shirt on and shorts are short, they would just see a cute little girl and nothing of Christ. Even if my necklace had a cross on it, like, come on. Like, come on. I did not look like a Christ representative. That's not what they first see in me. What they first see is just this fashionable girl who is just dressing fashionably. Whereas if I was dressing more modest and counterculture to the world, now someone would look at me and be like, what is she about? Because I'm not giving away too much. I'm not giving away a perception. Like, dressing of the world gives away a perception. Whereas when you dress modestly, it's just like, is this just a fashion choice? Or is she a modest dresser because of religion? And I think that's how the world operates. So that when they know when I'm dressing modestly, they know I'm living life for Christ. They know that this life is not my own. Like, I'm just here as a Christ representative here on earth. I'm not here for long. I'm here to live for God one day in heaven and have eternal life there. But here, I'm just temporarily here. The strength of daily living even goes to how I speak and the words I choose to use in my daily vocabulary. I remember when I was in high school, I was a cursor. I was a cursor because I'm not trying to blame public schooling, but going to public school, I became friends with people who were cursing and I adopted cursing. But that's not to say people don't curse in private school. I'm just saying my experience. And when I went to private school, that's where I continued cursing, but then I had some people hold me accountable and pull me to the side and say, that's not language a lady should use. Well, that's not language any lady or man of God should use, but this was a woman in my dorm. She was the dean, who was like our supervisor, and she kind of like instilled in us how to be virtuous women. Because she was authority, I was like, yeah, whatever. I hear you, but I'm gonna continue cursing. And then I remember I didn't stop cursing until one of my peers said it to me. And I was just like, oh, like, maybe this is something worth stopping. So I appreciate her for calling me out on that, because although it was really hard to stop cursing, because by the time I graduated high school, I stopped cursing. But it took like 3 years. It took sophomore, junior, senior year to stop cursing and to stop allowing it to be a part of my vocabulary. It took 1 year of cursing, my freshman year of public high school, to adopt cursing. And then it took me 3 years to remove it out of my life. So that says a lot. Like, it'll be quick to pick up a bad habit, but hard to stop a bad habit. But you can stop it if you really try, right? But yeah, I think just reading the Bible really changes your daily vocabulary, and just the way you choose to talk. So that was back in the day, high school. So like how it changed my daily vocabulary now is, my tone. right? Now that I am using the right words, I can focus on my tone, like how the delivery in which I say it. And not only in the delivery, the time in which I say it. Like, let this person talk, don't cut them off, let them finish, and then speak. Or even just my facial expressions and nonverbals. I can really focus on that too, so that we can foster better communication styles, because we're not supposed to talk down on God's people or force people to do certain stuff. Like, leave that up to God. All you can do is be a good influence, motivate, encourage, be an example, and let God do the rest. Like, you shouldn't force anyone to love God. You shouldn't force anyone to do anything. Just just be the example, share the benefits, share the disadvantages, and let them make their own decision when God personally convicts them. Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light to guide my path. I have to say this verse in my head on days where I don't want to read the Bible, because this verse to me can be very scary, right? Especially for someone who grew up afraid of the dark. I read this verse and it reminds me of that childlike behavior of not having light guiding you and you're just walking around in pure darkness. And that's how I feel when I'm not close to God, when I'm not reading the Bible, when I'm not talking to Him daily. I feel like I am navigating through life in darkness and I don't know what I'm doing. I hope I'm just going the right way. I hope I'm on the right path. I don't know. And that's a scary way to live your life. Don't you agree? That is scary. Not only are you navigating on your own in the darkness, but you don't know what's ahead of you. You don't know if you're gonna bump your toe. You don't know if you're gonna fall over. You don't know if you're gonna get hit. You don't know what's coming your way. So when it says your word is a lamp to guide my feet, it's like, yes, please, give me that night light, give me that flashlight, give me the sunshine. Be the lamp in my life, God, to guide my way so that I know what's ahead of me. I know where I'm going. You are guiding my steps. And I know that wherever I go is where you let me. So I'm going to trust that. I'm not just trusting, just walking blind in the dark. I'll definitely trust God's way over walking blind in the dark. No thanks. And the second part is, and a light for my path. So not only are you lighting my feet, so you're guiding my feet in my steps. You're guiding the path. Basically saying, if the road was to split in two, and you had to decide whether to go down the left road or the right road, the left road will light up if God is telling you to left, or the right road will light up if God is telling you to right. And isn't that beautiful? And in order for Him to tell you, you have to be in the Word. It says, your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path. Your word. And where is the Word? In the Bible, y'all. We have to read the Bible for God to guide us so that we can be in the right place at the right time to do God's work, because that's what we were created to do. We weren't put on this earth to do what we wanted when we wanted. As much fun and grand as that may sound, we weren't put on earth to do what we wanted. We were put on earth to do what God wanted us to do. He created us for a purpose. And trust me, the purpose that God created us to do is way more grand and way more exciting than what you ever wanted to do. Believe that. God's way is always better than any other way, and that includes your way. Although there may be challenges and benefits, we're all human and we're gonna all fall short. At the end of the day, as long as we just continue to get back up and follow God and allow Him to guide you in everything that you do, then there's no way you can mess up. There's no way to mess up in life. Even though they say, There's no manual in life. Yeah, it is right here, the Bible. The Bible is the manual. I'm just glad I got through this video because there was a lot of distractions in the beginning of this video. I said, I'm gonna sit here and record this video because it has been on my mind for so long to record this video about my journey, because on Instagram I've been tracking my journey, showing you guys book by book, all the books that I'm reading. I'm currently in Ecclesiastes, absolutely phenomenal book of the Bible. And I think it's a book that really will enlighten people and how they can live their life. Depending on how you look at it. I can see some people looking at Ecclesiastes as a way to justify how they want to live their life. But if you're really looking at Ecclesiastes through the lens in which you want God to be the focal point of your life, then Ecclesiastes will guide you and get you right. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see the next one. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the video. Bye.